pornography. Virtue? Shelley? No, me first.
Salwch yw fy athrawen, dorrodd fy ngwên. Mae fy esgyrn teimlo'n hen, yma yw gorwedd corffren.
I lay broken on the kitchen floor. I clawed at the laminate. Pain wandered my body, an uninvited guest. Bones of a home where the devil could rest. I cursed the gods, cursed my messiah, cursed my maker. I cursed all of creation. There I lay, feeble and thin. Sick boy, sever my sin. Have you ever felt pain? Stomach wrenching, unrelenting. Tell me, have you ever felt pain? Condescending, muscles clenching. Tell me, have you ever felt pain? A rose emerges from the pavement cracks. They'll write my eulogy with broken glass. Eternal parallax.
Pain.
Pain the author, I accept this. Pain the teacher, bruised apprentice. Pain resisting, pain will come. Pain the mother, I'm the son. Pain that splits you, and too many hits you. The dark and the light will converge to one. Pain that twists you, the heavens dismiss you. The Father, the Ghost, and the Holy Son. Body bagging me. Zip it up quick, get their things on B. I search for peace in the belly of a beast. Sick boy, onomatopoeia. Running up a fever, following a leader. Wanna be me, huh? Grass isn't greener. Bright light seizure, dynamite dealer. Dine at the table of the coroner, E-top for 13 years and I've been feeling so stuck. Lucky number 13, just my luck. Empires tumble, rubble and dust. The universe shrinks and the planets combust. In God we trust. God tied a noose to his neck and he walked to the edge and he jumped. Angels wept, I bear witness, watching the whole thing unfold from my bed. A bed where I never deep rest, a bed where I'm always depressed. A bed with the human oppressed, a bed for a tomb where I slept. A bed in the room that's a womb for this mess. Sick boy bitten by a tick boy, tell me how it feels to be buried while you breathe. Stones and sticks boy, pain is a gift boy. Hard to make a stand when you crawl on your knees and I kneel. I kneel at the altar of my own disease and I beg the sky for mercy, mercy never came. I dipped me dirty, 33 and hurting, cursing. Jesus died at 33 and still my sins are lurking. Gears are turning, future stays uncertain. Surgeon incision, murder ambition. Fear of the unknown preserves a religion. Denounced the gods when my body went missing. Back then, the pain spray ricochet like a Mac 10. Hot lead hit the bed that was trapped in. Red wings, seraphim out of God's grace. Cried tears from heaven like Clapton. Stick pins in the voodoo Hendrix. Thick skin, stay humble Kendrick. Stay skeptic, check the biometrics. Bloodstained crime scene forensic. Lights on, lights out. Fade into the background. So down, running from the silhouette of self-doubt. By now, really should've figured this shit out. Lights on, lights out. Smackdown. Let it be. Quote John Lennon. Click clack, John got shot for attention. What does that tell you about the good of intentions? Bitterness formed in a storm of aggression. Prophets get dropped, imagining heaven. Martin Luther, Mahatma, dead. 6-6 followed by 6 and 7. Build and praise and bury them dead. I was born to be half a man with half a chance. My heart isn't half righteous. Half is down and half a gram. Half those troubles and thoughts stay darker than Urukai master plan. Sharper than glass shards, splinter and cinnamon. Irony could kill a man. He makes money when the music lands. Expand, pay me my G's rain down parmesan. Followed by seven whole sins for a self-made Armageddon. Sin 1, pride. Pride makes a man kill a man for his ego to survive. Sin 2, lust makes the grass look greener, crucifies trust. Sin 3, gluttony. Humans consume and consume, planet Earth gets a frontal lobotomy. 4, sloth, rinse and repeat, reruns, repeat, time lost. Sin 5, envy. That's when one man's win is another man's frenzy. Sin 6, wrath, rage, vengeance, killers, psychopath. Sin 7, greed. Greed plants a seed that will destroy us all if we succumb to greed. If we take what we need, then take more than we need, then our oceans will bleed. Still we feed and we feed and we sleep and repeat. Then we exile the shepherds and follow the sheep. We inherit the meat. We inherit this world that we bruise and we beat. We inherit this vanity, circles of creeds. Inherit the liars, the murderous thieves. One sin for every one day of the week.
Welcome back, all you beautiful people, to another episode of The Uninvited Guest, episode 6, here with Larry Bollinger again. And yeah, been some crazy times. I know you've been going through a lot. What do we want to start with today?
Well, I don't know. I just thought I'd let it flow. Just whatever comes out, you know. And I trust that my guides will tell me what to say and when to say it, and hopefully it won't sound too stupid. So yeah, I got a real bad habit of, well, yeah, that's a good habit because I'm really good at it. Sounding stupid sometimes. So you know,
the way I do it is if I say something stupid, I want to make it my own unique brand of stupid at the very least.
Absolutely. So you guys had a hell of a run through the snow, huh?
Oh God, driving to Minnesota in the ice and whiteouts and insane wind. Yeah, it was exciting. The trip went about 2 days longer to get there, but then it was clear roads on the way back, thankfully. But it's fucking winter. It's cold up north. It's cold. Yeah, like this ain't north. You'd think Oregon's north, but nope, it's north.
Right. I've got frankincense and myrrh here.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm going to light up 2 of them. I'm going to use 2 of them to prop up this camera a little bit so it doesn't cut the top of my head off.
There you go. Say redneck engineering, but more hippie engineering.
It works. There, see? Now you can see me.
Hell yeah. Looking snazzy in that shirt today, too.
Thank you. I was looking through our videos, and if you look through them and pay close attention, you can see a whole lot of things going on in the background. Faces coming out of the wall, images. At one point, looks like an octopus tentacle scraped through my hair, and you know, yeah. So somebody's definitely watching what we're doing and keeping an eye on us and making sure that we're not saying the wrong thing or giving the wrong message. So, you know, so let me start out by saying, as I say in every episode, that we are here to spread the choice of love and choosing the right path and trying to be our best us. Okay, because that's what it's all about. And I'm going to light these incense because they are of the original church, and these are designed to keep evil spirits away. Frankincense and myrrh. It wasn't just because it was there or popular or whatever at the time. It served a purpose. If you've ever been to a Catholic funeral, they put it in a smudge pot, and they smudge the whole.
Put it there.
Yeah, they smudge the whole building. They'll smudge the body, the casket, and it's really something to see. I mean, it's sad to see because it usually means that one of your best friends is gone, but not forgotten, and not in a bad place, because they're going to make sure that they're not messed with. I always used to tell my mom, I want to be cremated. I never want to be buried. She said, why? I said, because if there's a hell and there's a devil, then I'm going to wake up in that fucking box.
Yeah.
And that's the stuff that nightmares are made of. That's M. Night Shyamalan shit there. And, I don't know. We don't know, we don't, so we go. But I believe I got a good handle on it. And what I believe coincides with what the Holy Bible says, what the Quran says, what the Buddhist beliefs are. And it's all basically do good, be good, choose good, and end up good. So and this is our message. This is our message from my guides to you all. And I feel just absolutely compelled to tell everyone this. I want to shout it from the rooftops. Be good to each other. Stop fucking around. Stop hating your neighbor. Stop being a dick. Stop leaning towards people in traffic. Just stop all that crap. Stop getting in the way just to see what they do. There's no need for it. It's just a waste of time. It's a waste of energy. It's a waste of effort. And we've got to be better people. So
100%.
And because I've been the worst of the worst. So I know. And if I can change, anybody can change. Okay? I mean, I'd count the shitty things I've done in my life, but I'd need everybody's fingers. I mean, everybody. We'd have to have the hands across America for me to list my bad deeds. And, and a lot of that is just thought, bad thought, which turns into bad intention, which usually turns into regret and remorse, and then self-loathing, and and then we wallow in our muddledom. I mean, we just muddledom. There's a new word. I just made that one up. But I'm right.
Suffer.
Huh?
I would say we suffer, and then it fractals out into everybody else because nothing stays truly contained, and then it just becomes our world.
And our children and our followers, those who look up to us, those who look to us for guidance, for companionship, they suffer. They suffer from this. And they get the short end of the stick because you can be a much happier, better, enjoyable, fulfillful person. You can benefit, they can benefit from you. And this is what all good books teach us. This is what all I don't want to say just churches, shamans, about
people who want to do good.
About 20% of our world leaders, maybe 19%, 17.
Nowhere near 50 though.
Well, it takes a long time to learn these lessons.
Yeah, but I think that long time of learning has culminated into this moment, and a lot of people are looking at the collective whole of human history and deciding, you know what, it might be time for an overall shift in our perception. A lot of different varying groups, different religious, churches and organizations, people from different walks of life, they're coming together because of the chaos that the elite and these satanic globalists have created, all the chaos, all the anarchy. Because of that, they feel pushed to the point of, well, if they're not looking out for us, all we got is each other. And we know what it looks like to shoot each other for years and years on end to no fucking avail on either end. So what if we band together,
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes we band too tight, get into cliques, which are easily considered cults or gangs.
Spiritual traps.
Yeah, exactly, buddy.
That's all any of it is. I mean, that's gender ideology, that's Antifa, that's Nazism, it's, you know, gangs, Bloods and the Crips. It's like, it's not to say that there's not good intentioned people in there or good people within any of these groups, but it is to say, like, it's preventing you from asking the bigger questions, looking inside yourself, because at that point you're worried about the collective whole, you're worried about the group and the majority. You're not thinking about what's good for you or the people in your immediate orbit. You neglect your family, you neglect your true friends, and shit falls apart.
And you might do something that you're not comfortable with or truly support simply because your brothers to your left and your right are doing so.
Mm-hmm.
Are you in their head? Do you know? Maybe they don't want to either. Maybe you're following a maniacal narcissist.
Yeah.
Who knows? I mean, really.
Well, especially
we
now.
blindly follow.
Mm-hmm.
It's our nature to want to follow. It's our nature for us to want someone to come in and save us. Please save us. Well, we have to save ourselves. We have to start with us. We've got to fix our foundation. If you don't have a good foundation, you don't have a good building. Your walls will fall.
Yep.
Okay? Your walls will crack, your floors will crack. Everything falls apart. It cracks and it crumbles. So you've got to have good building block. You've got to have a good solid foundation. That's, you know, without it, you're just spinning your wheels. Okay? So
Yeah.
I'm going to take my glasses off for a little bit.
So
I wear these so much. These are magnifiers that now, if I don't wear them, I can't see at all. I mean, everything's blurry. So because I can't afford a pair of glasses, I'm destroying my eyes. So and that's kind of stupid shit that we do, because it's easier to buy a $3 pair of glasses and feed your family than spend $200 for your own eyesight. Well, when we do that, we become the blind leading the blind. And quite literally. And that's no way to be. So, you know, 3 blind mice tapping their little white canes with the red tips. And that's us. We're just walking around aimlessly looking for the next best thing.
Yep.
Where's the cheese, man? Where's the cheese? Well, it's government cheese, pal. It's government cheese now.
Yep.
Because they're the ones that are helping us to be blind. The 1%. You know, when I grew up, 1% meant something. It meant that you were in a club that nobody fucked with. My 1% is different than y'all's 1%. My 1% are solid men who served their country, who came home to being called baby killers, people throwing blood on them, spitting on them. My family lost 7 Bollingers in Vietnam. And my brother, at the end of a 9mm pistol, shot down 55 men in a helicopter.
Sorry, man.
If he didn't do it, they would have killed him. He's not right since. I love my brother, and he's a good, solid man. He has a beautiful heart and a beautiful soul, and he's the best musician I've ever heard in my fucking life. Fastest guitar player. You don't mess with that boy. he'll fucking cut you with a guitar string, buddy. He'll fucking, not literally, but he will run circles around you, pal. And he does this because it's an out. It's a way to let that out of him. When a soldier comes home, he's not liable for what he does for the first 3 minutes after waking up. Because usually the soldier's so fucked within the head that he can't sleep most of the time. It's always replaying in their head over and over, nightmares over and over. And I used to dream I was being wrapped in plastic and buried alive every fucking night. 5 times, 10 times a night, I'd have the same dream over and over. Torture. Just torture. To the point to where the elementals that you'll see sticking their faces through the wall here, they were there at my house when I was 5 years old. Okay. It's the same one. The first night I spent here, I woke up and I heard the same voices in the living room that I did as a child. Just remember, you could hear him having a conversation, a full conversation. And this is what my grandma White, Myrtle White, this is what she heard. This is what she experienced. She would wake up and they would be dancing in her living room. Have you ever been to the haunted house ride in Disneyland or Disney World?
I've watched footage of the ride through, but I've never actually been.
Okay, well, there's a part where they go through and there's a giant ballroom and they're just spinning, dancing, spinning and spinning and spinning. And this is what my grandmother would wake up to. And she would wake up to that. And then the black masses would grab her. They'd come up and smother her like a blanket, pin her down to where she couldn't move. I experienced this in the hospital when I got my back surgery. And let me tell you, it's no fun. I was pinned down. I couldn't move. I was wide awake. I was grabbed by my neck, by my shoulders, held down by my hands. And they grabbed Harley, because Santa always rides a Harley, and did burnouts on my chest, just peeling the skin off my chest. And this happened for about 2 weeks, about every hour in the hour. Okay. I was so destroyed, I could not speak. I was supposed to play for a soundtrack for a movie called 8 Seconds. And I couldn't remember what music was. I did not know what music was. I played music my whole life since I was a child, since I could reach up above the piano, and I knew where the notes were because of the scratches on the bottom of the piano. In my diapers, playing songs, writing music, singing words. My father used to tell me I would sit in my cradle and rock back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and I still do. I can't stop. I can't stop moving. I can't stop rocking. And true to form, as I became a teenager, I couldn't stop rocking, man. I mean, it was my out. It was my everything. It was my solace. It was listening to Jimi Hendrix, listening to Eric Clapton, the Who, the Rolling Stones, the greats, you know. And
It soothes the soul.
yeah, it does. It does. It's inspiring, and it's calming.
Keeps the demons
Even
away.
though some of them will start you up, you know.
I'll activate the demons, some of them.
Yeah.
That's the thing, right? A lot of it really it is magic in a large sense to be able to control how you tap your foot, your nodding of your head, the thoughts, the memories flooding back. And the best musicians know how to get that going. But it's a balancing act, and
most certainly is.
I think
I've had the music flow out of me. I've had the music flow out of me to the point to where I would play my local clubs and it would just come out. I couldn't contain it anymore. And people would take pictures of me while I'm playing. And I would look at them later and go, oh, that's what that looks like, huh? Wow, that's what that looks like from the outside. Because on the inside, I'm on another planet, man. I am literally on another planet talking to other beings. You know, I went to Cosmic Pizza in Stockton. I asked the manager if I could play. He looked at the people. He says, you look familiar. Yeah, he's in that band. Okay, well, yeah, go ahead. That's my guitar. You can play it. And while they sat and ate pizza, I played Tripping on Mescaline, strawberry mescaline. And I communed with God. I communed with Gaia. I communed with nature, pal. And at the end, I hear, Larry, huh? What? We've got to go. Oh, okay. Shut off the guitar, set it down, and the whole place erupts. You know, they just erupted it. So it's not me. I'm just a vessel. Mm-hmm. I'm just a husk.
You're in touch with your muses, your guides, your inspirations, your spirits, those who've left you.
Yes. Yeah, they flow through me. So that, in a way, makes me a musical prophet, okay? That God is speaking through me musically. And I believe that with no uncertainty. And now it's time for me to speak. I've had people, when the ships started showing up, I'm talking about the big ships that would drop the smaller ones out the bottom. It used to look like Venus. Everybody thought it was Venus. It wasn't Venus. You could use a star map, and it wasn't fucking Venus. It wasn't on the star map.
Are you talking about the orange orbs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Here, give me 1 sec, because I know we're about to go very, very deep into the orbs. I do have to go to the restroom. Cyprian and I actually talked last night, and I swear to God, we talked for an hour or two on this.
Right.
Buddy, there were orbs in Eugene 5 days ago, like making diamonds and triangles, and oh my! I sent you that, I think. Yeah, here, let me go to the restroom because we're about to go off on some shit. All right, 1 sec, buddy.
No, sounds great.
Oh yeah,
sounds like Okay, folks. I guess I've been cute enough for a while. I'll put on these reflectors again. Oh, there you are. Look at that. Well, time for my cheap plug of the day. Cannabis medicine. Cannabis medicine from cannabismedicineonline.com. Some of the best weed you can get. Some of the best weed that I get anyway. We had some issues about a year ago. I had some issues about a year ago. I was suffering from traumatic brain injury. I was jumped by a demon. And that demon instantly began to have me kill myself. First by smothering myself. And I've known this my whole life. I was born with this entity following me, haunting me, talking to me. in my ear, constantly in my ear. And it would tell me to grab my mother's keys and stick it into the light socket. And get underneath the car. Get under the car. Get under the car where and my father would come out and start the motor. Put your head in the fan. Put your head in the fan now.
So
run out into the street. Go. And this thing has been trying to kill me my whole fucking life. It's been trying to kill me. Because it doesn't want me talking to you today. Okay? So that's how important this damn message is, people. You listen to me. You fucking listen good. I'm 65 years old. I don't have a lot of patience. I don't have a lot of smoothness. But let me tell you what. My story is true. My word is true. My belief is true. I am truth. As God said, I am the truth, the way, and the light. Well, I tell you what, there's no purer message than that. So you love your brother, you love your neighbor, you love your community, you stand up for each other, and you help each other. Or I'll kick your ass.
He'll do it. And I want to ask you on that point real quick. So we're going to the orbs, but I want to ask you some questions on that because, I'm doing that KGB Book of Alien Races rewriting, and I am going to include your story and work on telling that. And I've been doing a lot of studies behind the scenes on, shadow people. There's more spiritual aspects, the aspects of trauma, drug use, all of the different avenues I've been trying to go through because there's going to be people out there who don't believe in the demon aspect, but they might look at you and believe that there's something psychological going on. It's like I feel like it hits all the realms. But
I'll tell you, I'm crazy. I'm about the first person to tell you I'm crazy. But you know what? Hang around with me for a day.
Weird shit starts happening. Yeah, no, seriously. Like people don't realize that whenever you hang on, Larry.
I challenge these ghost people to spend one night in this fucking house. Not a goddamn one of them will listen to me. They're scared of it. They're afraid of it because they can see on my face that they do not want to come here. They feel it. And these are the demons pushing them back and plugging their ears and saying, don't come here. You're not welcome here. We have him. We're keeping him. And that's it, buddy.
Well, I'd like to come into your house. I know that I've mentioned it before. We've chatted briefly about it, but before I go, I would like to try and get a feel for this myself at least once before leaving. That way, at the very least, I can have like a feel for it when we're discussing it. Because I don't think that this is going to be something that's expelled before I go. I feel like this is something we're going to need to research and discuss and dive and work on together. I think that's part of breaking it.
I have been mending my foundation. Mm-hmm. I have been strengthening my walls. I have been taking back my power. I have been reducing their power. Mm-hmm. The ones that they have trapped here, I'm releasing their souls. I'm sending them to the light.
So you believe there's other spirits in your house other than Zozo and these entities?
Yeah. How about a line of them?
Well, let's go through them one by one. Like, can we like break them down? Like, which ones you know about, which ones you feel, which ones you're questioning? Because again, I want to do like a full investigation on this publicly and like work with you and to tell this story. And I just want as many details as possible because this is batshit, and not in the you're crazy way. In the this is just fucking hellish way.
Let's start with the encephalopod that stays at the end of the hallway by my door. Okay.
Define that word for me.
It's encephalopod. It is a long, skinny, multi-legged being. This one is about 4.5 foot, 5 foot tall. Its name is Ralph, and it watches over my son because it doesn't want my bad karma going in and infecting him. Okay. I believe that this encephalopod was and has gone through many lifetimes, including being my son's true natural father. Okay? We have many lifetimes. We have many souls. We have or many life experiences, not many souls. The cache of souls is thin. Okay, we're thin. We can be up to and shared by. I believe the highest number I heard is 24 separate people, souls. I've seen evidence. They've shown me this on when I watch insightful shows like Gaia. Okay, beyond belief.
Topics that are becoming more like basically it's becoming more into the public and global consciousness, like collectively all across the planet people are essentially saying the same things, and
Yes.
now more than ever it's like you can find 100 different topics on split souls. People have never even met each other, and it's really the overlap. Like when I'm looking into shadow beings and aliens and all that, you could tell when there's major differences. What you want to look for is the patterns, and a lot of the patterns are simmering to the surface because we're all ready for it. And a question on Ralph: do you think that Ralph, being the spirit that you described, do you think that spirit, while it may not seem too friendly to you, do you think it's helped push you in a better direction? And do you sense that
Absolutely.
the anger towards you simmers as you get better?
No, absolutely. And it does. Yeah, it does. I would start steaming and seething and just darkness. I'd go into the bathroom and I would conjure demons and send them to my enemies, to my lover's lover, or my lover's lovers. And I wreaked havoc and chaos. I was called the Chaos Wizard. You know, I was Captain Chaos. That was me. Wrap some foil around my head. Call me Butters. You know, but yeah.
So what were some of those? Can you give us some examples of some of those demons that you were conjuring in the mirror? Like what would you say? I mean, without getting too detailed, you don't want to be teaching people practices and giving out that type of shit to the world, I guess. But how does that go down? You're in the bathroom, you're seething with anger, all these fuckers that fucked you the fuck over, your vision's going blurred, things are whirring around you, a million thoughts through your head. What is it in that moment that
I peel a slice of myself off? Okay, I peel a slice of myself off. Quite literally, I'll take a percentage of myself and I will mold that into the demon that I want it to be. And I will instruct it to grow. It can either protect or it can harm. Okay. When I send it to harm, I will send it to whisper your name in your ear all night long, to push you down the stairs, to slap you, to just be mischievous, malicious, maniacal, and dirty.
Here, keep talking for a moment. Someone's calling me out of the room. Keep talking though. I don't want to interrupt you. You can keep going. I'll be right back. I'm sorry, man.
Sure. Well, no, that's quite all right, man.
Sorry.
You don't really need to hear this in person, anyways. I'm ashamed of my actions. I'm ashamed of what I let myself become. When I did this, I could see my power, my energy transferring from myself into my mirror image. And this happened to me as a teenager. When I lived in a house that was a coven, and this is where I had the dream of being buried over and over and over again, buried alive. And I would wake up to big heads, floating heads, other ghastly just things you don't want to know. You don't want to know the imagery of what I've seen. Okay, dark, decaying, disgusting, wretched.
Well,
And this happens. Well, in the prophecy, and I lived in the house, ironically, I'm drawn to these places. They'll call me. They'll call my name. They call my spirit. I'll drive by and I'll say, that house is calling me. Within a few months, I'll be living there. And the ghosts will do what they do. Okay. In one instance, I ended up in the house that they shot the prophecy in the alley. They had the alley scene where Christopher Walken is perched on a concrete wall. The first day I moved in, I opened up the curtains. I said, oh, holy shit. Fuck. Pam, my wife, God rest her soul. What is the matter with you? I had to fucking videotape. I brought it out and I ran it up to that point and I froze it. I said, now look out the fucking window. She said, oh my God. And they had filmed that there. They had filmed that movie there in that alley. They also used the local school that was shut down, where Derek Stoltz was up in the attic.
So what was
they were talking about the meanest monkey. I am the meanest monkey. Okay. So yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna ask, so what was the premise of the movie and the scene? What's some of the significance? Because as someone who's never seen the movie, what is the messaging
Oh dear Lord, watch it.
But nonetheless.
Watch it. Yeah. Okay. The prophecy is the iconic good versus evil. The battle of heaven and hell. Okay. And it is the beginning of the battle. You'll see ayahuasca taken. You'll see spirit journeys, astral travel.
This is a Christopher Walken movie? Hell yeah.
Huh?
So this is a Christopher Walken movie? Hell yeah.
Yes, Christopher Walken is the star of the movie, actually. Yeah, he is Gabriel.
Ooh.
And yeah. So yeah, you bet, man. And this is in a town, Globe, Arizona. It's a mining town. I was right across the street was Globe. My side of the street was Miami. So I could tell where you live. I live in Miami, Arizona. And it's the same town that Chuck Norris grew up in. He went to the same school my son Nathan went to. And he was bullied in that school just like Chuck Norris was. And Chuck Norris went to a 7-Eleven. And the Chinese guy that taught him martial arts, I used to rent movies from him. And he was the sweetest guy, let me tell you. Like, don't fuck with him. Don't fuck with him. And I said something off to him one day, and he gave me the look that chilled me to the fucking bone. And I sincerely apologized to him. And he explained to me that some things are not a joke. They're not to be spoken of. They're to be revered. Things are sacred. Love is sacred. Goodness is sacred.
Would it be prying too much to ask what it was you said?
I misspoke about the police because I was given a ticket for going 26 miles an hour in a 25-mile-an-hour zone. $400 ticket for going 1 mile over the speed limit.
Jeez.
I thought that was a little excessive. He wanted me to leave town. He didn't like the cut of my jib. I was a hippie. I was, in his opinion, dirty. I was a greaseball as far as he's concerned. They would fuck with my kid to the point to where he would come home and cry, bawl, just wail. I'd had enough one day. I went down to the school. I chased some kids up the fucking hill, found their parents, and had a little speak with them. And from that point, I was no longer welcome in that town, but I was sincerely feared in that town. I would walk down the street and others would walk and deliberately go to the other side of the street to avoid me. Motorcycle clubs they wouldn't speak to me. They would go and hide in a corner to stay away from me. Okay? So, like I said, when I was a bad man, I was a bad fucking man. Okay? Ask Spider from Easy Riders, he'll tell you.
So what would you say your mental state was like at the time? Because obviously it starts in anger and a blow up, but from that point on, you're feared. People are looking the other way. Does that fill you with anger or sadness, or what are your feelings then?
It fills me with sadness now. I had no fear. I feared nothing. I feared no man. I feared nothing. I feared absolutely nothing. I didn't fear death. I didn't fear a beating because I'd beaten up rooms full of 50 people and then grab their keg of beer, throw it over my shoulder and take it home. Okay? So I've been that guy. I've been that mean motherfucker. That guy that you don't fuck with. The guy that when you walk down the road, you get that cold chill. I've been him. And I've seen him. I've seen it in others. I've seen it in others to the point to where I wanted to choose them to see who's the meanest monkey of them all. And that's how bad things happen. I'm talking large scale bad things happen. Okay. So when I tell you people choose love or I'll kick your ass, I fucking mean it.
And it's amazing how far you came, because when I first met you, I wouldn't have thought fucking any of that. I was just like, this is the happiest and most loving guy on planet Earth. Holy shit, what an honor it is to live next to this guy. So I'm very proud of you for coming this far and becoming who you are and making the choices you have in the long run.
I've been the total opposite, okay? I've been the asshole. I've been the jerk. I've been the guy that rides his Harley up and parks it in the fucking way of the handicap stall. Go in, get my fucking beer, you know? Just be mean people, make them cry. Just because I could. I've hit store people with 12 packs of fucking beer because I didn't like the way they fucking looked at me. So I smashed a fucking case of beer upside their head, walk out with the case of beer. You know, I've been the bad guy, okay? And that's allegedly, and that never happened, okay? That was just a fabrication of story. It never happened. So, yeah, no, I've been the bad guy, okay? I've been the bad guy. I've gone on a 42 state crime spree when I was younger. My brother said I was a one-man crime wave. And so I've been the bad man. So the Who song, nobody knows what it's like to be the bad man, to be the sad man behind blue eyes. I do. Okay. and I'm ashamed of it. I regret it. God took his smacks at me. I remember one day standing in somebody's garage, and this solid 2.5, 3-inch oak door came undone from the rafters and came right at me. Boom! Hit me in the fucking face, right in the jaw. And I stood there and I grabbed it and shoved it back up there. The guy whose house it was, he couldn't believe it. He'd never seen anything like that. Why aren't you dead? Because mean motherfuckers don't die. We just get meaner and tougher. And that's the truth, pal. And I'm not blowing my horn, but you know what? When I pull into a gas station and there's a fucking 340-pound prospect there, 6'6", wearing his leather, that says bottom cut, with a shirt that says "fuck around and find out." And he gets all full of piss and vinegar, and he looks at me, and I can shoot him a look and drop his fucking eyes to the ground out of respect, because he knows he's seen that fucking look. He's seen that look. And men who have been in war, they know that look. Men of power, men that fight for every day, officers, generals, they know. They've seen it. They fear it. And that's the devil inside me. That's the demon that occupied my body with me. He's gone now. Soul, ancient, before man, before time, an elemental, a jinn, okay? I could sit with my car in my Toyota Camry, and I had a friend from Saudi Arabia, Faisal, and he thought it was bullshit. I said, let me show you. What do you want to see me do? He said, make this car run. It's uphill. Run it out. So I said, okay. And the car began to roll uphill. And I said, faster. I went faster. Faster! I went faster. We got up to about 20 miles an hour. He jumped out of the fucking car. Ran in his house. He wouldn't answer his door. Took 2 or 3 days before he'd ever talk to me again. So he was scared. He went and he prayed for days. And, this thing used to tap me on the shoulder. I used to build card houses. I loved it. I would build extravagant, multi-level, huge scale card houses, decks and decks and decks and decks, and I would love it. And it would give me something to do, and I would build tight. I would build, buddy. And it would come, and it would tap me on the shoulder, and I'd turn around and go, blow that whole motherfucker down. And then go. I have tape of him. I got a spirit box, and I have tape of him laughing. He came and let me know that he's still around. But now he is wanting me to save our society, because without our society, he's got nobody to fuck with. he'll go back to being a lonely, old fucking demon surrounded by nothingness. And that's no fun for him. So,
and it's interesting you put it that way, because in my whole experience with Shamrock, that was the message that was received to me was, love you. Sorry, because it was taking off. Be safe. But essentially it was just kind of that, a fear of the end, give it up to God, because if you go away and creation goes away, I go away. There was a fear in that. And this goddamn laptop, one moment. There we go. But yeah, and I've been kind of wondering the whole terms of angels and demons for a while now. It's like the stories of Enki and Enlil and the Anunnaki and all that. There were some beings that just wanted to engineer humanity, and there's others that were like, well, what if we taught them to love? What if we gave them sex? What if we gave them gender? And the more and more that was given to humanity, the more off task we were put, the less inclined we were to be enslaved. It's kind of like the story of Eden. It's like, now they can eat, now they can drink. This will be good for them for this. And then the powers that be were like, you fucked this up.
How can you be a good God-fearing, productive man when you're drunk and chasing pussy all the time? Excuse my language, okay? And I cuss a lot, but that was a little over the top. So, for that, I apologize for those that I've offended. Okay, I'm crass, and I still have a roughness about me, and I'm working on it. I'm working on being a better person. Okay, I know how messed up I am, and I'm working on it. I have demons inside me. They've scratched my name on my arm. Lari, clear as a bell. I thought that was really something till I looked down at the base of my hand and it said Bollinger. Crossed my knuckles. Fuck with that. So, I don't know if they're labeling the skin suit for the meat suit for later. But I've definitely, definitely been down the road where I sliced my wrist.
Yeah. Well, I want to explore that a little bit, because, like, when you're talking earlier about, cutting your skin and doing all that, which is not to negate anything you're saying right now, do you think that the demons could have carved your name through you? Do you think you could have channeled the carving?
Yeah.
So explain that a little bit. Okay.
Well, it just happens. You look there, and it appears as you go. Mm-hmm. I remember sitting in a shitter in the TP Lounge in Charleston, South Carolina. That's the white bar. Then the black bar's right next door to it. And I can't remember the name of it because I wasn't allowed to go there. But I sat there seething at this because this was happening. Because there's no reason for it. If you're a man enough to stand next to me and die for your country, then you're a man enough to stand next to me and drink with me and celebrate with me and eat with me and love with me and take in the world. Drink it all in. Smell the flowers. You've earned it. And when I went to Charleston, one of the first places I went was 2nd Street downtown in the Battery. And where they chained the slaves to the wall. And I could see them. I could see their spirits. I could feel their agony and their pain and their longing for their families. How they were taken. How they were just picked up and beaten. It's so fucking wrong. You know, when them fucking ships come down and them encephalopods come to try to fucking eat you, that black man's gonna be your best fucking friend. KKK dudes. Because he's stronger than you. Because he's been oppressed his whole life by you. And if you're lucky, he'll feel sorry for you and help you fight them. Or he could turn your back on you like you have on them and leave you to your own being, to your own demise. And that festers. And that is decay. That is the decay of man. That is the stink that comes off of us, that rises off of us. And it's disgusting. And you slice somebody's belly open, and their guts are steaming because it's frozen outside. In World War I, they would kill people, slit their bellies open, and warm their hands with their intestines. Okay? This is how cruel we are. This is how cruel we are. People would slaughter animals and sleep in their carcasses to keep from freezing to death. Okay? These are tough fucking times. It's the real deal. You know? This isn't walking behind Pizza Hut to get the free pizzas that the guy stacks next to the trash can. This is a real fucking shit.
Yeah.
And
it's an easier world, and we need to take advantage of it. We can avoid these travesties. We have it pretty good, all things considered, yet we still treat each other like fucking animals.
Yes, we do. Yeah, we do. There's no reason for it. And that's why I keep saying, choose love, choose goodness, choose the right path. You know right from wrong. You're born knowing it. People used to ask me, what's religion? And I tell them religion is a battery. You know, and in a way, I'm thinking of the Battery, which is what they called that place down there where they sold the slaves. It was called the Battery. And that comes to many terms, because the battery I'm thinking of is a positive and a negative. It's Newton's third law of motion, and that's every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So if you're shitty to your neighbor's shitty to you. If you're shitty to your neighbor's going to be maybe not shitty to you, but he's going to be shitty to the other neighbor that he knows he can take. And that shit just rolls downhill.
Mm-hmm. And those people wonder, they're like, why does everyone hate me? Why does everyone have a problem with me? Why is everyone so angry to me? It's like, well, you're not looking inward at that point, are you?
They're bullying me. Why do they bully me? Why are they picking on me? Why are they messing with me? Because we're fucking shitty people. That's why. You know?
Well, that's why men like you are incredibly important and courageous for speaking out and telling your stories and sharing all this, is because you have a genuine sense of remorse. And if you can share that remorse with others and you can show other people, look, there's another side of this, even if people are super ingrained in their shitty behavior and they haven't gotten out yet, you know, right. Seeing you cry, seeing you tell your stories, that could give a sense to people of, oh, this is what's in store for me if I don't clean my shit up. You know, because we got to start cleaning our shit up, but that means we're going to have people to look up to hear these stories, to hear honesty, like to say, yes, I've committed crimes. I've done drugs. I've assaulted people. I've robbed. I've fucking done this. Because when they start to hear enough people saying that collectively, then they're going to be like, fuck, you know what? Me too. I'm a fucking dick too. And I really think that's what needs to be done.
Find a police officer that has it. Most police officers that I know were bullied as children, and they grew up and they got strong and they got fucking tough. so they could make sure that they could stop those fucking bullies. God bless them for that. I used to buy weed from the bass player of the Dead Kennedys. My favorite song of theirs was "I Hate Cops." No, 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 I hate cops. And I lived that life. I lived that. Okay, I've got to go.
You gotta go?
Yeah, I'll be back. Okay.
Well, what were we on before?
I'm sorry.
What topic were we on before? Is there anything else you want to move on to? I kind of forgot where we've hit a lot today.
I wanted to tell you that what has been afflicting me, what has been both harming me and trying to help me, are what you commonly refer to as shadow people. Okay. The Jenner shadow people, they've never been alive. They've never walked this planet. They have, however, coexisted with us for long periods of time. Since the beginning, since before the beginning, okay? Jinn were here before our universe had its big bang. Okay, that's how old they are. They are the ancients. What about me is I can see them. I know when they're coming. I can feel. I woke from dead sleep. We in our house in Portales, New Mexico. Feeble, go Greyhounds. The dogs. We all had to sleep in the same room because it got so bad at the house that it was shaking beds, throwing people out of their beds and stuff. And it was becoming very violent. Okay. I lost my left nut in that house, quite literally. It was that fucking maniacal. It wasn't good, pal. That house caught on fire 5 times before it caught on fire the 6th time and burnt completely to the fucking ground. So, like the 3rd time it caught on fire, the firemen were on top of the roof. The roof caved in. Poor guy fell on my fucking washing machine, about broke his fucking back. He's crippled from it. Jesus. The guys went inside and while the house is in full fucking flame, and they grabbed my guitar and amp and they brought it out to me. We saved your guitar and amp, Larry.
Damn.
It's minus 35 degrees. I'm standing out there in my underwear. Couldn't you have saved maybe a blanket?
Man, no, it's the phenomenon is there.
I made him all lasagna, took it down to him, and that's when my heart started. That's when my heart went bad. That's when I started having seizures, falling down, pissing myself. It was bad. I had to have a heart surgery. They had to cut into the wall where the little muscle is, the nerve that controls the beat of your heart, and it's an ablation surgery. And yeah, so that's when that all started. That was their attack on me. I made the attempt at saging and cleaning the demons out of that house. And this wasn't the one that burned. This is the one I moved into. Right. A good dear friend of mine, Sam Rigsby, Golden Peanuts, a hell of a man. He's a strong man. He's a cowboy. He's John Wayne, dude, and hell of a man. And he and his buddies, Doug and Dave Stone, who were in the movie Tombstone, right? These are big, giant men of men, men amongst men. These are guys they're the real deal. And, you know, they took to me because they could look and see in my face that I didn't fuck around. If I said something, I did it. And they respected that, and I respected them for it. And we cleaned up that fucking town. We got rid of the dirt bags, the fucking child predators. We got rid of all them bastards. And they were happy to do so. And I also sold $1 million worth of hot rods while doing it. Yeah. $1 million worth of hot rods in 1 year. I sold a 55 Chevy. Remember 911? And they show the picture of the guy swinging on a ball and chain in front of the cut. You can see the cuts on the main bars of the World Trade Center.
Oh shit!
And he's swinging on the ball, right? I sold him 55 Chevy 2-door, and no, it was a Nomad wagon, and because he said that the radiation was so bad that he had about 2 to 3 years to live. And he wanted to go out in style. He was going to go riding that fucking hot rod until he rode it to fucking heaven.
Fucking A.
And I believe he did. Yeah, I believe he did. And, you know, shit got real then. That was the day shit got real, okay? 911. That's when shit got fucking real.
Where were you that day?
I was in bed. I had a carpet cleaning job. The folks that took care of my mom, she died. They had all their stuff out in the front yard. And I went over there and I cleaned their house.
She died on 9/11?
Well, it was within a day or so.
Jeez.
It all fell apart that you know, at that point in time.
Yeah, that's a lot all at once.
Yeah, well,
Fuck.
I couldn't believe it. I saw the plane hit the tower and I broke down. There was no words. People were jumping off the buildings, burning ash. It was terrible. That was war.
Yeah.
I grew up thinking they'll never attack us on our own soil. We're the ones, we run this world. Yeah, bullshit. Nobody runs nothing. People run their fucking mouths. And that's about it. You know, and the war machine gets meaner. And they don't get paid unless there's somebody to kill or bomb. And I told you I quit making filtration systems for nuclear submarines. The day I left, they threatened to, if I ever said anything about it, if I ever said what I did, what'd I fucking do? I made the goddamn coffee cup holder for the pilot of a 757, okay? And I made these little glass filtration systems. I doubt they were even that. You know, that's just what they fucking told me it was. And when I left, it was because it was a GD thing. Yeah, I said it. General Dynamics. My brother worked there. Fuck you guys. Right in the ass. And they told me, if you ever speak a word of this, we know where you live. We will kill you. We will kill your parents, Roy and Mary Bollinger, up, and then they said the address, or your grandmother and your grandfather said their names, full names and address. We will go and we will send people and we will kill them. And then we'll come and we will kill you. But we're going to kill them first, just so you know that we killed them. Within a week, I was shot at on a 10 freeway. Man with a 30-06 up in the overpass. The very first freeway shooter.
Big Spring.
I was the very first fucking candidate. He looked at me. I looked at him. Our eyes met, and I knew he was from them. He was sent by them.
You got Scar to prove that one.
They tried a couple of times. Well, they tried several times. I've been shot at so many fucking times by them bastards. But this one, he was a marksman. He had a scope. And I said, and he just smiled and he goes,
what was the official story given on the Big Spring shooter at the end of it? Because obviously, if that were the case, the story would be different. What was?
I don't think it was the same guy. I think the man that they sent after me was Black Ops, and then they sent some shithead in there to take the rap.
Well, it's what they do with fucking JFK, and even there was a shooting in Allen, Texas about a year ago where they tried to say that a white supremacist shooter came in, but it was a Mexican corpse that got left there. My stepmother saw the corpse and everything. The tattoos were more Mexican mafia than white supremacist. Like,
there you go.
That's the shit that they do.
Yeah, how about it? So I was watching Mayor of Kingstown. Okay, they get the guy that shot the mayor of Kingstown. I want you to pick up your gun. Picks up his gun. Point it at the ceiling. Point it at the ceiling. Bring it down slowly. Bring it down. Bring it down. Bring it down. Bring it down. Pop, pop, pop. That's exactly what that shit was. He tried in Duncan, Texas. Guy couldn't get to the freeway in time. He was running up there with a fucking long gun, waving his arms at me as I drove by. Fuck you, buddy. Had a driver in an old Buick Roadmaster. He couldn't keep up with me. Flipped his fucking car, rolled it, killed everybody in the car. So, I've been down that road, man. I've been shot at. I worked at an apartment complex across from where the Stockton Ports played, the Mudville 9, Mighty Casey. And God, I love watching baseball games. You know, I ran an apartment complex. Mark McGuire taught my son how to dive into the pool. Hell of a guy. And I would get out there every morning, 5:30 in the morning. And I'd give him sandwiches and snacks and shit, treats. Send them on their way on the bus to go play AA ball for the Modesto A's. Become the Oakland A's. Some great baseball players. Just, God, some of the best. You know.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a Bollinger. My family makes champagne in France. I'm a descendant. My father was born in Oklahoma, although his birth certificate said California. And he was a true Bollinger. But through a family meltdown, in the when the stock market crashed. Okay, shit got real then too. People were jumping out of buildings then too, and a lot of blame going on, a lot of needless, senseless killing, and the rich got richer and they fucked everybody and took all the money, which is what they're trying to do again. They're trying to repeat that, you know, just like that one. I can't even remember his name. The fucking stock market guy that fucking gypped everybody.
Was it
About 25 years ago, 30 years ago or so.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank. I think I know what you're talking about, though.
Yeah. I have memory troubles because I stuck a fucking dab tool in my eye when I got jumped by a fucking demon.
Wasn't Madoff, was it?
Yeah, Madoff. Yeah,
Madoff. Yeah, Bernie Madoff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's him. Son of a bitch. Yeah, what a senseless fucker. You know, he'll kill your grandma for fucking $2,000. Piece of shit. But when that shit fell down the first time, my grandfather, who came from Pennsylvania, rode the rails. And what that meant was you didn't ride in a train in a boxcar. You rode the fucking rails where they put the shit underneath the track, underneath the car. There was two bars. There were 2 bars underneath it, tension bars that held that train straight.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
And you had to hold yourself with one, keep your legs out straight and stiff, or you fell off down onto the tracks and you were killed. My grandfather, Carl Bollinger, rode the rails from Philadelphia, where Pennsylvania, where he was kicked out of the state by the state police, took him to the fucking state line and said, "Don't ever come back." He never would tell me what he did. He never would. He never would. But you know what? That motherfucker fed a motherfucker to a lion because he's drunk and he made me cry. He was a doughboy in World War I. You did not fuck with that man. You don't fuck with people like that. Never fuck with an old man. That's what my father said. I'm going to give you your best lesson I can give you right now. And so if you're going to fight somebody your own age. You're going to fight somebody, you young whippersnapper, you young stupid punk. Go out there, drink your beer, and fight. He said, don't ever fight an old man. I'll tell you why. I said, why, Daddy? And he said, because an old man's fighting for his fucking life, and he'll kill you.
Fucking hell.
That's the best lesson he ever taught me. That was within a couple of weeks of the Cuban Missile Crisis. Okay, Castro. So shit was real then too, you know. So yeah, we've gone through tough times, and we're going into tough times again. You know, when I was a kid, they weren't called homeless; they were called hobos. I was a hobo for Halloween several times. I ran away when I was 4 years old because my mom wouldn't buy me something I wanted from the store. So she got me a stick from the backyard, and I tied up a few toys, and she put in a peanut butter jelly sandwich, tied up a bandana, and put it on a stick, and put it over my shoulder. Okay, I'm leaving now. Okay, bye-bye. You write when you find work. You're going to let me go? Yes, you're running away. You need to go. If you're running away, if I'm not giving you enough, then you go find something better. Fine, I will. Okay, bye. I went out the front door. I slammed the front door. And I stormed down the street. The neighbors were coming out of their houses and they were smiling and laughing at me, which made me even madder.
Like, I'm serious.
I go down to the corner and I hang a left. And go down to the other corner and I hang another left. Just like a fucking Indy driver. Because I wasn't allowed to cross the street.
The exact same with me. I always told my mom when I was a kid I was going to run away to Brazil and go to the rainforest. And on my bad days, I'd try to get my friends together. In my head, I'm like, no, I'm serious. We're going to the fucking airport. And we're going to the goddamn rainforest. About the same. You get a block or two up the road, you're like, Mom's going to get mad.
Mom's going to get mad. You're going to be bitten by one of them little green spiders or fucking snakes or some shit.
You're going to wish you're in the middle of the fucking rainforest.
Oh, good Lord. There's so many things that'll kill you down there in that rainforest. Not funny.
Yeah.
You know, if it doesn't sting you and kill you, it'll swallow you whole.
Yeah, there's a really good podcast I'll have to send you with David Cho. He's a really good artist, and one of his stories is he basically did that when he was younger. I think maybe 13 or 14, I can't remember, but he actually went down to the rainforest because he believed that dinosaurs were still in the rainforest because he was seeing all these Nat Geo things, and he actually went into the rainforest. And he didn't find anything. He wound up getting lost with his guide and like almost fucking killing him. And there's like a whole intense backstory that goes with it. But he didn't realize that where he wound up was in the middle of a civil war. He got off the plane and they're all like, why is this Asian kid here? And it's the craziest story you've ever heard in your entire life. But it's like a rare instance of a kid falling through and being like, fuck that. I'm going to the rainforest. I'm gonna find that damn dinosaur. And I think this was maybe back in the 90s, 80s, something like that.
Hey,
He's got great stories.
There are quite a few black ops retired that will tell you that the CIA have every fucking dinosaur down there.
I believe it.
And that's where they keep them. Okay?
I mean, they're talking about resurrecting mammoths. I feel like you're going to have some test run mammoths before you present the actual mammoth. And I imagine they're probably trying this. They're probably Jurassic Parking this shit. I wouldn't doubt it.
Dude, of course they are. I lived in Clovis, New Mexico, next to 20 miles from Portales. And Clovis, man. Woolly mammoth. That's where they found it. And yes, there's enough. They have enough meat from woolly mammoths that they've dug up there on site to replicate. You know, plenty of DNA. Yeah, you bet they can do that shit.
And this was all before AI came out, too. AI is probably going to come and fill in the holes and be like, okay, if you tweak the equation a little bit, maybe you can get a T-Rex.
This is not before AI came out.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true.
AI has been known and operating since the 1940s. Okay?
Fair point. It's kind of like the mammoths. You have the test run and then you have the release.
Yeah, well, what do you think the Black Knight is? You know what are you familiar with the
Black Knight satellite? Yeah.
Yeah.
You think that's AI?
What do you think it is? Yeah.
I mean, I've always heard a mixture of theories. Some people say Illuminati space station. Some people say like ancient alien artifact satellite.
Ancient alien artifact. It's a fucking computer. Okay. It had 8 cells in it. It's down to 3. It's dying.
Well, they shot at it a few years ago. There was like, it looked like some sort of like thing or laser missile went up in the air and it actually took a fucking hit. Like someone was firing at that motherfucker for some fucking reason.
Well, because electronic blasts and electromagnetic frequency will fuck that shit up. It'll fuck a computer right up. Maybe it decided that we weren't worthy and it was going to kill us all. Maybe they shot it out of necessity.
So what do you think its purpose is? Its overall purpose, why it's there, why it's lingering. What is it there for?
The life experiment on Earth created by the reptilians. Okay?
So it's a reptilian artifact, you think?
Yes. Yeah, you bet it is. Okay? So
do you think it's occupied?
Reptilian artifact.
Or is it just the artifact?
Only by artificial intelligence. It's not. It may have an ancient in there. It's very possible that they put somebody in there a few years at a time. At the base of the Sphinx, there's space station underneath. And there are live aliens guarding it that have been guarding it for thousands of years. Okay? So they have different various medical stations in there for treating various species of alien. Okay? So, you know, yeah, I sound, but I'm right.
You're only crazy till you're not. And I mean, even the Black Knight satellite, it seemed to pop up over, I think it was Houston about, shit, it might have even been 3 or 4 years ago. I'll try to find the video and upload it here, but someone's just driving down the highway to Houston and right over the fucking city in the clouds. It's just chilling. Actually, the illustration of it at one point, like it's a very fascinating one.
Well, I just happened to show up at, like the haunted houses call me. Well, so do the spaceships. I'll end up at the VLA. You know,
VLA.
I ended up in Northern California playing a gig when alien ships came by that big giant dish up there within about 10 miles of where my gig was. And it was over it, hovering over it for about 10, 15 minutes. I was at the Dallas airport. When they came and landed at the Dallas airport, they grabbed everybody and put them down into the basement and took everybody's fucking cameras away from them.
Did any photos ever get out? Like, did anything ever come out of it? Do you know if anything ever came out of that at any point? Like now with the disclosure, is there any like?
No, not a bit. And I was
they lock it down.
I was there going to court over the Dr. Death, who did my back surgery, who was on 2020 twice. The one that they found laying in the field naked with his wife for 3 days, went into somebody's house and started making sandwiches in their kitchen.
Waiting for the cartel to come kill him.
Yep.
Allegedly.
Yes, allegedly. There are no cartels.
Yeah, cartels don't exist. Everything's fine. Border crisis? What crisis?
Yeah. I don't know what crisis you're talking about.
We have no crisis.
Idea. Yeah. There are no black ops and there are no little green men.
Nope. There's no Warren Posse.
So now let's get real. That was my you know, in no way does cannabismedicine.com support the story of this crazy man who started this. But we do offer our support and give him medicine to hopefully get his mind back. Cannabis medicine. Some of the best shit you'll ever have. Yeah. No, you know what I'm saying, man. I'm telling the truth. I'm telling you the fucking truth, okay?
No.
I was on 10 freeway. I have gone up and visited my daughter, Rachel, because her mother just couldn't stand being away from her any longer. And it was when we were at the house that they shot the prophecy out of. And the house was so sad. It was so sad. You just cried there. There was so much misery in that house. In that town, it was beat. That town was beat down. It was fucking beat down, buddy. And even the cattle, they grazed the cattle on mountains of dirt that they got, that they dug giant fucking holes in the ground with huge, massive pieces of equipment for copper ore. Okay. And they built this tiered level of wall, and the poor cows would walk. They'd walk around in circles. They didn't have enough room to turn around. And it's just like me running away from home, but I couldn't leave the block.
I mean, that's Dante's Inferno. There's a whole literal circle of hell that operates that way.
They built Walmart, and I got to see Sam Walton drive his 1963 Chevy pickup truck, just like my pappy's, same fucking blue and white, dual color. I actually look quite a bit like my papa, like my pappy, and he sure reminded me of him. Because he got out there with his fucking hammer and nail and he worked alongside them bastards, just like Jimmy Carter did when he was building the houses for the homeless. God bless him. And what they did to his company was perverse.
What happened there?
What he built was greatness. Made in the USA. Customers always right. Satisfaction guaranteed. He built it on the basis of goodness. He chose goodness and he chose right. And a greedy fucking family diced him up. And then corporate got a hold of it and they showed him how to really get dirty. You know, that's when the weasels came in. Nothing against weasels. I love weasels. Ferret was my favorite pet. Stink to high heaven. He'd crawl up my leg and he'd crawl up my belly and he'd get up in my beard and he'd snuggle up there. Just the sweetest little thing. You know, stink like piss. People, I'd grab and I'd love on him and I'd kiss him. And somebody grab and they'd kiss him too and they'd go, ah, and drop him. This thing smells like piss. Well, it's a fucking ferret. What did you expect? You kiss it. I love it.
I always wanted one. My mom never let me have one, and my husband wouldn't let me have one.
Fucking smell, dummy.
Get used to it.
Yeah. It loves me. I love it. The first day I had it, it reared back and went. And I got my foot up, and I was just about to stomp it into smithereens. And my wife, God rest her soul, don't do it. It's just playing with you. It's going to get its ass kicked fucking playing with me like that. You've got a computer. Get on it. Learn about your pet. And I did. And she was right. And that thing, he was a scamp, man. He was a scamp. You know, I had a Malamute.
Yeah.
And that ferret, he did not like him. He'd bite his face. He'd run at him. He'd jump on him and grab his neck, and he'd just and that dog horrifying. That dog wanted to kill that ferret so fucking bad. But he knew that was my little buddy, you know. And he wasn't going to bite the hand that fed him. And yeah. So, you know, all about self-worth. And I love that little thing, you know. And then my grandbabies came, and my mom and dad got into meth, and ultimately his father-in-law he hung him. Him and his friend came from Arizona and hung him. Frank Dryman, the longest absconder of justice in the United States. Come in, son. Walked away from probation, parole. They sentenced him to hang, but till death twice. Yeah, we're shooting. It's okay. Okay, you want me to read something for you? Okay, I'll come out when we're done. Okay. All righty, son. I love you very much. And you do that too. You tell your family you love them at every chance you get, because you don't know when the last time that you're going to be able to see them. And that man right there has had 3 heart attacks this year, 3 flight for lives, emergency surgeries. He was dead for 22 fucking minutes. They called me 8 minutes into it, and they were tired, and they wanted to go to lunch, and they couldn't guarantee that he'd be the whole Christopher when they came back, so they wanted me to leave him dead. And I said, fuck you, go kill your mother. I said, you fucking do everything in your power, bring his ass back, he'll come back. And we all gathered hands, and we said St. Michael's prayer over and over and over, and sent white light and love and bright energy, and he came back. He's out there cooking a fucking badass dinner right now. So, you know, happy as a fucking clam, loves his dog loves him, and he's happy. And he's here. Because I wouldn't take no for an answer. I wouldn't let him fucking pussy out, you know.
Your clan of fighters.
Yeah. They took one of my sons. They're not going to take both. You know, that's not going to happen. Frank Dryman got the first one because he was going to leave his wife. She was screwing around with several people, you know, and pretty much everybody but him. And he was going to get a driver's license and or an ID card and start his new job in the morning. That fucker came and hung him, shot him in the neck. And the juggler overdosed him, hung him on the belt that I bought him for Christmas. It hung him on a fucking freezer.
So sorry, Larry. I love you.
He died like this.
Nobody deserves that.
No, Pam came home. She's wailing. She said, they killed him. They killed my baby. And I jumped up and I said, no. I jumped in the car and I drove over there. He was already in the bag, the body bag. They're pulling him out. Fucking bastard. And he killed him just because he could. Fucking prick. And I called the FBI about a year earlier. Told him who he fucking was. Because his own family was afraid they were going to come kill. He was going to come kill them. Because he killed his first wife. He killed his 3 children that she had. His sister came out a year later looking for her. They killed her. He killed her. Buried them all in his fucking little sand ranch down in Tucson, Arizona. Buried them in the fucking sand. Fucking bastard. They were going to let him out. They're going to fucking let him out. I wrote to the fucking parole board and told them what he fucking did. And I said, you don't even fucking think about fucking giving him leniency. You sentenced him to fucking hang twice because he's a prick. Read the court records. I did. He threatened to kill everybody in the place. The judge's wife, I'll kill your fucking family. I'll kill your fucking dog. I'll kill your cats. He was a sick motherfucker. He shot that man 6 times. No, excuse me, shot him 7 times. Unloaded a 357 that he stole out of fucking Las Vegas pawn shop. Went back to the guy's truck. Reloaded. Walked back out and shot him one more time. Just because he was that fucking mean.
Jesus Christ.
That motherfucker's rotten in hell. And he's one of the demons here that are oppressing me because he used to call me and have other people call me 2, 3 in the morning. We're going to kill you. We know where you are. We know where you are, and we're going to come kill you. You're going to answer your door one day, and we're gonna kill you. Over and over and over and over.
Psychological torture.
I tell him, bring it on, motherfucker. I'll be on my porch cleaning my fucking gun. You come get me. Yeah. Things are different in other places, you know. Mexico's the Badlands. You know, they didn't call it the Badlands for no particular fucking reason. Okay. I got into it with a guy. His family was well-to-do there. They were on the do list. Of course, I was on the don't list. I've always been on the don't list. First day I moved in, police came, knocked on my door, and said, okay, you can buy your weed from this guy. He's a friend of the mayor's. If you need heroin, you go over to this motorcycle group and you get it from them. I don't do heroin. Oh, okay, well, that's good. But if you ever do, you go over there and get it from them. Only you don't go to those other people.
Get yourself in trouble.
Yeah. And that's how it is.
Mm-hmm.
You're out in the middle of fucking nowhere, nothing to do. They know it. You know, we know you're a hippie. We know you smoke weed. We know you're going to smoke weed. You're not going to stop smoking weed. You're going to sell sacks. We know all this. We're not dumb. Buy weed from the mayor. Okay. I will. And that's how shit's done out in the Badlands. Don't fuck around.
That's a lot of Texas operate.
The night they hung my son, they came and they tried to get me to admit to somebody made my wife cry. You don't make my wife cry. You make my wife cry, I'll make you cry. This man happened to have a pipe that I swung on him so hard, allegedly, it wrapped around his clavicle. It went down his back. I swung it so hard, it wrapped around his body. He'd never been hit so hard, ever. And that's my legacy. When I teach someone to defend themselves, when I teach someone to fight, I teach them to fight like an old man. I teach them to fucking hit as hard as you can, as often as you can, as fast as you can, as completely as you can, until they never, ever, ever want to see you again. You know? And so, you know, I'm in court with this guy. And he's being a little dick. I'd just gotten out of a back surgery. I worked at a meat plant. They put me in a frozen trailer, stacking 100-pound boxes of hamburger, 2-man stack. And the guy just smiled at me and walked off. They ran the shit around the plant 4 times before feeding it. So I had 8 guys stacking against me. So I'm throwing fucking 100-pound boxes. Poof, 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 poof. My foot slipped and I snapped on my back. Broke it. Just shattered it. And yeah, so, you know, people are mean. People do some ugly shit. Crippled me for life because he didn't like picking me up in the morning, taking me to work. It was a burden for him. So, yeah. Yeah, that's what it's all about, bud. People are mean. We're mean to each other needlessly. We hurt each other needlessly. I can't walk. I cannot walk because somebody didn't want to get up fucking 5 minutes earlier. For 5 minutes. And I got a gimp for the rest of my life. It took Senator Ted Lyons, baseball player. Gotta love baseball, apple pie and fucking Chevrolet. And there's no car like Mopar, buddy. And the Fords, God love them, but they're fix and repair daily.
You're fucking telling me.
They could be fast on race day, but they're broken every other fucking day. They're fixing them. So
not great for road trips.
Yeah. My father was a body and fender man. He used to pound out fucking race cars. And they'd go run them around a circle track and beat the shit out of them. They'd bring them to him and he'd hammer them straight and paint them. They'd look brand new by the next week. They'd take it out of the track and fuck it up, and he'd do it all over again.
That's wild.
He was the best. He was the best. He rode with the Hells Angels. I'm sorry, did I say that name? He rode with the Heavens Devils. And there's another one from San Francisco, large group, and I won't say their name, okay? Because I don't know them. I didn't grow up with them. I just saw them as they came through town to go to the frog jumps, where Shirley MacLaine would sit on a mountain and talk to the UFOs, where the roads changed every year. The dirt roads and the mountains would change because the whole mountain would change. They would change the whole fucking mountain. And Daffodil Hill, yeah, that's what it's all about, man. You know, go down, I'd end up at the Winchester. Man, boy, that place.
You actually got to go?
That place is seriously fucking haunted, buddy. Yeah.
If people get lost in there, you got to find them days later.
Yeah, the ghosts would tell me where to go. They liked me because they knew I could see them. They would get a buzz because they knew I was coming. They're excited to themselves, he's coming. You know, a little girl talked to me. You know, and the old carpenter guy talked to me, and one of the old cleaning ladies, she would talk to me, and they're all so happy.
Let's give a brief history. Let's give a brief history for the people real quick, just so they don't know. So, the Winchester Mansion, it was the wife of whatever his name, Winchester, who, you know, Winchester rifles, all that. Basically, she felt so much guilt when she died over all of the deaths being caused, everybody shot, stricken with trauma, to where she basically started building this mansion in order to ward off the bad energy, but she kept adding rooms and hallways and just never stopped, right?
She was told to never stop building. She was told to never stop building. That was her penance, was to continually build, baby.
She fucking did.
Where do you think your name comes from? Where do you think your YouTube handle comes from, buddy?
Well, I thought it was Martin Luther King, but damn, it might be this bitch. Because that is some wild shit.
Yeah, she was long before Martin Luther King. She was 100 years before Martin Luther King.
Well, what's the commonality there? What's the commonality there, though? It's so haunted by seeing pain and trauma and struggle and seeing all the evils of the world and finding a project that you feel the need to completely pour into, which Martin Luther King did till he died. She did till she died. I think you and I are going to do till we fucking die. I think with Martin Luther King's case, it was less guilt, but you have to put your energy into something.
I lived in Charleston. I went down this road covered by dogwoods. The most beautiful ride ever. We arrived at this mansion, and it was where they shot Gone with the Wind. Yeah.
Didn't you live in the house where they had Animal House here too, over in downtown Eugene, or by it?
Yeah. I've also played at the club up in Dexter Lake, where they shot the band scene with hey, who do I? They had the death machine there. You know, the Lincoln that they cut up and put the turret on the top. It was there. I had a lot of fun up there. He used to play for the Dexter Lake 4th of July. You know, Bodhisattva was our name. And some talented guys. We were all a bunch of hip-hop musicians. But when we got together, we had our sound, buddy. We had our sound. And we went and played Whitaker Block Party, which was started by the Grateful Dead.
Wait, no shit?
Years ago. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I only ever went once, but it was a really good fucking time. Buddy I was with actually got a fucking, he got a water gun full of acid, so I had to trip sit the rest of the night. It started good, but then it went south. But other than that, it was fucking wild time. But apparently I went after it was good.
They shot my friend in the face with that shit, and she died. They stole her face.
These kids just go around fucking doing that shit. Like,
no.
It's fucking evil.
You don't let anybody spray you there or at country fair.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of, at this point, I was from Utah. I was like his first day in Eugene.
Yeah. Well, you don't know what you're getting sprayed with. And, you know, I went to the Wow Hall and saw Buckethead. It was his first gig out in like 8 years. He was recluse with Brian, his manager, his lover. And they came down, and me and my friend Robert were there smoking some grape skunk. And we were talking, and they could hear us from the table over. And I was just talking. I was trying to tell Robert, chill. Choose love. Be good to each other. He liked my message, and they both came over and sat with us. And he set his plastic mask down on the table. And Robert said, Buckethead plays with a mask just like that. He said, he plays with this mask. He said, no, really, he plays with a mask just like that. He said, he plays with this mask. I said, Robert, meet Buckethead. So shut the fuck up.
Just
Brian took a hit off and made sure it was good, and he nodded to Buckethead, and we all got high, man. And he went in and fucking burned that fucking show down to the ground, baby. Oh, God. So amazing.
That's fucking so beautiful.
Amazing. Yeah, and he came back. He came back before the year was over, and he played at Hi-Fi. I played the same night. I was playing in a different room now. It was Halloween. We played 2 gigs that night. We played Cottage Grove, and then tore down. And within 45 minutes, we were at Hi-Fi. Sat back up. Fish warmed us up via satellite, and it was a hell of a time. That was back when I was playing full time, you know. But
for all the darkness in your life, you've also had some of the most beautiful moments.
Yeah, I sure have. We played the skate park, the one that Tony Hawk built.
Oh shit.
Yeah, Justin Bieber was in town. Little shithead.
He was
shooting a movie for Disney. Him and his little Disney girlfriend were there. And my son Nathan, who's Nathan Jr., looks over, sees him, flips him off.
God damn.
Back here.
Probably would have been me too, honestly, at the time. Now that we know what we know, I would feel bad if I ever did, but
I fucking rolled. Dude. I rolled. Sam Elliott lived in town, lived up at Blue Lake, went out the fair that year. Phil Lesh was a band. Sam Elliott goes out to fair, runs back into town, gets his hair dyed rainbow, goes back out. Spent the weekend with rainbow hair out there. And, yeah, that was, those are the good times of Eugene. Eugene is progressive in that way. We had they used to have a large gig every summer. Shit, it's been so long I can't even remember what it was called. But they shut it down after 35 fucking years. They shut it down, and we rebuilt it back up. Called it something else. Played at the park, and we had music all day over at the park by the river. And we ran sound at 2 different stages. We did sound for School of Rock. School of Rock was 9. It was 8 bands that we put on in a 60-minute slot. Separate mixes for every band. And at the end, they all got together and did one final jam. And we did that mix. I tell you what, I've never flipped so many switches and slid so many knobs and stacked so many fucking microphones in my life. But we did it, and they sounded fucking great. And then the movie came out, School of Rock.
Because like for outsiders, like, I didn't get too deep in the music scene because, like, unfortunately, when COVID hit, I realized I didn't utilize it enough. But Eugene was kind of this place where if you're partying and if you're hanging out with people, even old shithead roommate, you remember, fucking old jackass, right, at least took me to a couple of, like, you think you're hanging out in someone's house, and then all of a sudden it's like a punk show where there's country music, or everyone's blending all their different genres here. The music scene in Eugene is very special, and I feel like that's something that I don't. It's got angrier though. I feel like
we used to play the Black Forest. It was right next to the Hobby Lobby there, where they had all the big Lego wars, the whole Lego incident. We'd play the Black Forest, and it was a hell of a time, man. Let me tell you, we'd be up there thumping with a big full bass, boom, 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 just having a blast, and turn it over to somebody else and play guitar for a while, and then go play drums for a while. We'd all just rotate around the instruments like a calliope, and it was hella fun, buddy. It was hella fun, And I saw my master. I call him my master. He's Sananda. He grew a Soma. He is responsible for Lavender Kush winning the first Cannabis Cup. You may have heard of strains like New York City Diesel. Yeah.
I'm always trying to remember which Diesel it fucking was. In my head, it was like Lemon Kush or Diesel or something like that. Thank you for saying that. I've been trying to figure that out forever.
These guys are the real deal, pal. These guys are the real deal.
You're a wizard who is amongst wizards.
Yeah. The Prince of Pot had nothing on them. And
here, I got this real quick. Keep talking to the camera. I'll be right back in 1 sec, okay?
Okay. Yeah. Right. Well, it is what it is. And it's all about funnel cakes and turkey legs and, fair food and having a good time, being out there with each other and loving each other and having fun together and going outside and doing something. Go outside, One of my favorite songs is by John Popper and the Blues Traveler. And it's called Go Outside. I think it's time to clean up my room. It's been years since I've been able to see the floor. And it's, a lot of truth in there. That man is a genius. Plus, he's the best harmonica player to ever walk the earth. There's a lot of good things happening here. They set up a stage for us. We played on the corner of Jefferson and 4th Street. on a flatbed truck. We had everything nailed down. They're driving down the truck, down the highway with my amps and our drums and the PA setup tied strictly down to this flatbed 63 Chevy truck, and 63 or 64. And there goes the band down the road. Only in Eugene. Only in fucking Eugene.
Were they playing while you're doing that?
They loved it. They loved us. They fucking loved us. The next year, when they put us on in the official Whitaker Block Party video. They liked us that much, and they built us a stage special for us out in the front yard of one of the guys from Cherry Poppin' Daddies. Okay. Yeah, they're hella guys too. Cherry Poppin' Daddies. They're fucking righteous dudes, man. You know, and we would go the night before and play for the crew. We would play for the setup crew because we loved them too. We loved them right fucking back, you know. And so we would go out there and we'd play for them, and they loved it, and that's what got us. That's what got us to go play for the Dead Crew. They were doing the country jamboree out in Brownsville, but it was the Grateful Dead setup crew, and they gave us a rock star treatment, buddy. We went out there, we parked our cars at the end of the gate, at the end of the road, and they lifted everything. We didn't touch a fucking thing. They set us on gators, these little ride-ins things, brought us in and gave us the rock star treatment. And in turn, we fucking gave them a fucking show. Let me tell you, we fucking kicked its ass. And it was fun. It was hella fun. Let me tell you what.
Do you have any old footage of you playing ever?
I got a picture on my Facebook, on one of my Facebook accounts. When they started tweaking me with the electromagnetic field, they started fucking erasing my brain and shit. And they were hitting me with frequencies, and to the point to where they were shooting me with magnetrons from microwaves, because I had broken up a child pornography ring, and they were taking these kids around 6 and 8 at a time to motel rooms, and the NAMBLA guys were fucking them, and you know, and this was being allowed to happen, and we said, "Oh hell no!" And I called some old friends, and I got a winged fucking salute the next morning, a ride by, and a nod, and a rev. And 81 said their salute to me, and we fucked them fuckers, and they took their jackets for a little while, and you know, until they cleaned their house. And when their house was cleaned and all their trouble was gone, and I mean gone, okay, like firewood gone, buddy, into the river, into the it wasn't a good time to be one of them, put it that way. There was an extermination order on it. But you don't fuck with children. You don't fuck with kids. We protect our children. They're our livelihood. They're our future. We don't fuck them. We don't fuck our future. Sick fucks. And that's part of the badness, the evil, the fucking seething fucking stank of our society. Okay? I'm putting into that shit. Fucker was gonna fucking put my daughter into prostitution, or my granddaughter into prostitution, 14 fucking years old. Medical station put her on fucking birth control, told her she didn't have to live with me anymore, kicked me out of the fucking office, and told her to go live in the street, that she'd be better off with that on the street than living with a dirty fucking hippie that like me. And this motherfucker got a hold of her and was fitting to do the movies with her. And I found her. I tracked her down and I found her. Right? And as I found her, caught her at a McDonald's. And this little fucking zombie kid comes out and walks up to the window and says the same thing they always tell me. And he's standing outside the car. We know who you are. We know where you live. We will come kill you. I could see that this kid was not in his body. He was possessed. Okay? Because I recognized the eyes of the jinn that possessed him. It was her, not him. And I told him, I said, look, demon, I said, I'm going to give you a fucking minute. I'm going to get out of this car and I'm going to fucking total your vessel. I said, this young little boy here is going to be broken. I said, he's going to have broken ribs, broken arms, skull fracture. I'm going to break his fucking legs. And I said, I'm going to cripple this little cocksucker. So you get out of him. Because if you don't get out of him, you're going to feel it, motherfucker. And remember how I told you how you look at somebody and they can look at you and they just know you're telling the fucking truth. Uh-huh. Yeah, well, that fucking jinn knew. And he left that kid's body. He went blank-faced. He said, what am I doing here? And I said, go ask your friends. I said, you were possessed. Huh? I said, go inside, sit down, eat something. Okay. He did. And I was going to kill that little motherfucker. I was going to kill him. I'd have snuffed him. Just to get at that fucking ghost, that demon that was inside of him. Okay? And this is the same fucking thing that got in me. That had me dig my fucking brain out with a fucking tool. It looked quite a bit like this as I stuck it into my eye and went BAM! And it didn't go in far enough, so I ran my face into the side of my head as fast, as hard as I could. And I drove it into the back of my skull. And I fell down, and my nerves were twitching because my brain had just gotten the fucking shit knocked out of it. But I was still alive. So I stirred it like fucking oatmeal.
I'm glad it didn't win.
Yeah, imagine what I do to somebody I don't like. I do that to myself. I stick a fucking tool in my brain and stir it, my fucking brain. Imagine what I do to somebody I don't like. So this was after I smothered myself to the point to where I died. I shit the bed. Jen revived me. She knew I was going to fucking kill myself that day. As far as a part of her saving me, she did save me. She saved my life. If it wasn't for her, I would have succeeded and I would have laid dead. Just like the little ghost child told me when I was 2, and I'd lay down on the floor and I'd hold my breath as long as I could. And it was a little girl. She's still here in this house. She's here in this house. She looks at me real mean. I'll see her occasionally. She just glares at me. And she told me, you need to hold your breath, just like your father did when he walked across Lake Tahoe. She said, you need big lungs. She said, you need to hold your breath and learn how to hold it for a long time. She said, because if you don't, you're going to die. She said, they're going to kill you. They're going to kill you. And they did. I died 3 times that day, 4 times that day. The worst one was by the officers that came to just cause they could. I went outside because the ambulance was coming. And I wanted to go to the hospital. I didn't want to die anymore. I'd had enough dying. The day before, I'd given away all my money. Went downtown, handed out $20 bills to all the homeless people, bought them water and sandwiches and food, and gave them money because I didn't want any earthly belongings. I didn't want any possessions. I was tired of living under the man. I didn't want to be that guy anymore. I wanted to help. I wanted to do what was right. And this fucker grabs me and throws me to the ground. And he pins me down. And he does a George Floyd on me. He sticks his fucking knee across the back of my neck. Took that damn tool and fucking ripped my fucking eye out. I could see until then. I'm blind in this eye now. But what I did, when I slit my wrists across major arteries that never bled. Why? Well, they're called nanobots. Okay? Because I am genetically altered. If you don't believe me, I'll show you where my cuts are, where the major fucking arteries are. Not one bit of blood. Not one fucking drop. Uncanny. Why? Because I needed to live to tell you, stop fucking around. Do it right. Do it right. Do it from the heart, man. Do the right fucking thing.
I'm grateful that you're here to be that person and just share all this, because
I am too. I was suffering from dementia. I had Parkinson's disease. I was starting to shake, have tremors, losing my memory, just totally incontinent. It was bad. I was going to die within a few months. Stuffing that dab tool into my head and digging it out. Dug out the piece of fucking brain that caused my Parkinson's. And I've been healing and becoming mentally stronger every day since. Okay? Now, I remember I told you they took me into the ship. I was on meth. I was young after my first divorce.
Told you weren't clean
Totally fucking strung. Totally beat down on love. I cried at Thanksgiving. My aunt threw me out. I couldn't talk to my family. I wasn't allowed to talk to my family for 30 fucking years because I cried at Thanksgiving. 30 fucking years. They cut me from my family. 30 fucking years. That's how mean people can be.
When you say you were crying at Thanksgiving, what exactly happened? You want to talk about that a little bit?
I was divorced. I loved her. I didn't care that she fucked the pool guy, the other guy, the wine guy, the guy from Franzie's, the guy from this guy, the other guy, and the other motherfucker went and cleaned their house. And, you know, I didn't give a fuck. Sure, it hurt me. But I was genuinely in love with this girl. And people are people. We do things. We do things. You know? Tell me you don't, you know? Her mother was a teacher, worked at a fucking school. Some dude she ran into, she hadn't seen for 30 years, took him to the teacher lounge and fucked him and then went home to her house. You know? People do things. They do shit. You know, sometimes we're not proud of it. And she was just following her fucking natural fucking urges. And, you know, shit happens. Shit fucking happens. That's how I met the band Squeeze, by the way, in a house in Etiwanda out on a place called Private Road, about 4 miles from where the Hells Angels started in Fontana. Right down the fucking street from where I was. And me and my drummer, Chuck Duncan, prison guard, stand-up motherfucker, great drummer. We sitting there smoking weed, and we're talking like this, you know. Hey, mate, bloody good. This shit's fucking pearly. In comes Squeeze. They just landed in LA. They were there to record their album with their hit song, Black Coffee in Bed. And they couldn't tell they wanted to know what borough we were from. Yeah, it's like, oh, dude, we're just fucking around. We're not really from England. Well, damn, that's some good accent you got there, mate. That's because we sit around, we smoke weed, and we fucking practice being you guys. We had a jolly fucking time, man. We had a jolly fucking time. And, you know, so that was a hell of a day. That was a hell of a day. Squeeze is a hell of a band. And there were some really super guys, man. Super great guys. You know, and I was glad to be the first fucking American that they met. And I'm sure they were happy that they fucking met me. You know, when I lived in Kentucky when I was 16, I went to my brother's father's house, and he would do shit like fucking pull his shirt over and show a rose on his heart with my mom's name on it. And he'd tell me how he used to fuck my mom up the ass and stick Benoit balls up her fucking and
oh my god.
And dude, she's my fucking mother.
Yeah.
You know, I let it go on for about an hour. And I finally told him, I said, look, old man. And I said, you fucking filth talk my mom one more fucking time, and I'm going to put a serious fucking hurting on you. And he says, well, why didn't you fucking tell me an hour ago? He says, that's what I wanted out of you. And I said, you don't want any part of this, pal. And he said, good, you can stand up for yourself. You're not a pussy. People are mean. People are mean. Blatantly fucking mean. You know? So, yeah.
That's rougher when it's the father, too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's your authority figure. I mean, that's the next worst thing to God being mad at you. Especially in my case, not even knowing my dad for 15 years, and then all of a sudden seeing that motherfucker mean after not seeing it my entire life.
Right.
It's nasty shit like that constantly. It's just like,
oh, yeah.
There's evil in this world. It's fucking demonic.
But hey, when my mom was a kid, when I was a kid, my mom went around the corner and got Max Baer's autograph. Okay, he became the world champion boxer. It's Max Baer Senior, not Max Baer, not Jethro from Beverly Hillbillies, but his father. And ironically enough, my brother got a gig in Gatlin, Tennessee, about a block from Johnny Cash's house, and a house in the middle of the road that they split the road for. It went around the house because the guy fought him and won. And it was Vassar Clements' place. Vassar Clements is one of the best. He was a fiddle player. Right up there with Jean LaPonte. And I'd go there, and he was playing for Barbara Lee back when she was singing "Boogie from Heaven." And it's such a cheesy guitar part. I had to learn the guitar part because my brother couldn't fathom how ignorant it was, and I had to fucking teach it to him and learn it and teach it to him. Yeah, I got stories. And I'd sit there with what was his name? He was a drummer for the Earl Scruggs band. I'll tell you a little story about a man named Jed. Is Jody Maphis. Jody Maphis. His mother and father were Joe and Rose Maphis, who started and built Most Right guitars. If you ever seen a Most Right guitar, you've seen a work of art. Beautiful, beautiful instruments. And they built Most Right guitars before Les Paul built a Les Paul.
Oh shit.
So, I've been there. I've been to the 4-star studios. I've had them sit down with, guys from Abraxas and want me to try to take my brother's job. No thanks. Come on, kid. You can play. I know you can play. I can see it in your fucking face. You can play. Yes, I can. Can you tear this up? Yes. Yes, I can. Please do it. No, this is his audition, not mine.
Fucking A.
Yeah. I could have gone in there and I could have stole my brother's thunder. I could have took that job and I would have broke him. No. Fuck no. He's my brother. I love him. He fought for his country. He fed me, took care of me. We were living on 2 teaspoons of peanut butter a day. Living in an old farmhouse with a 55-gallon barrel on its side for heat. I had to walk to the river to get water by the bucket. And trip on fucking acid from San Francisco that was just balls out, buddy. So yeah, that was my good friend Cecil. Somebody stabbed him in Golden State Park just because he was gay. And they didn't like that, so they stabbed him and killed him. Just because of a life choice. Fucking assholes. He was the nicest man. He was wise beyond his years. His brother worked at the Ford plant. These guys, Jughead and Lawrence, I swear to God, these are these guys' names. I'm going to tell you this little story, and then we're going to call it tonight because I can't take this anymore.
Okay, man.
So much sadness. I went downtown, which means I walked down the fucking mountain. And I went to the store. I worked at the sawmill because, I was like 15 and I was from California, a guitar player playing in a band that played at the BFW Hall. We played at Don Martin's fucking place, a guy from Mad Magazine, did Spy versus Spy and all that shit,
Oh shit.
Yeah, we were playing big gigs for there, and um, uh, I go down there, and this guy jumps out of this purple Cadillac, and he's got a purple zoot suit on with fucking gold chain and pocket watch, belt fucking brim. This motherfucker was. But he walks into the store, and the store owner says, and I apologize, this is a trigger warning. Okay. The man behind the counter says, would you just look at that purple nigger? And I said, hey, what the fuck's the matter with you, old man? And that guy grabbed me and said, come here. He says, you don't know where you are, son. He says, this is the South. He says, I'm proud of my color. He says, and I'm more proud of you for standing up for me to this shithead. He said, but you got to live here. I get to drive away. Let him call me whatever he wants. I get a pack of coals and I'm out of here. He says, you got to live here. He says, they're going to get you for that. He says, you watch your back. And the store owner goes, yeah, you watch your back, you little motherfucker. Take your cigarettes and don't ever come in the store again. I said, fine, you fuck. And I was walking back up the mountain, and Jughead and Lawrence hit me with their car going about 65 miles an hour. And the mirror of the car hit me in the back and the side where my surgery is. Spun me around 3 times, threw me down into the ditch. And they called out the car, we'll get you next time, you fucking hippie. So, yeah, I've been there. I've had shit get real on me. Most of my life, people have been trying to kill me.
Here you stand.
Yeah. But it is what it is. Getting shot at and missed makes you stronger. It makes you realize how precious life is to your friends that don't get out of the way. My friend Jerry Ball. I got out of jail. I was walking home. And there was a black car on the side of the road. And it smelled of death. I knew somebody was in the trunk. I didn't know it was a fucking guitar player in my band. They shot him through the back, through the heart, and through the head. People are mean. People are fucking mean. They killed him because he knew how to build a drug. And that threatened their fucking profit ratio. I've had people come into my apartment because we bought a pound of weed and they were going to steal it. We couldn't get to the shotgun in time. Guy pulled a straight razor on me. He was going to cut my throat. Chuck came in and started cleaning the house. And they knocked him out. He knocked the straight razor out of the guy's hand. I went at him and he punched me, and he punched me fucking hard, knocked me off my feet. My head went down through the cabinet into a black frying pan, black pot metal frying pan. And I woke up with a refrigerator on top of me. They took my girlfriend, they raped her, lit my apartment on fire, stole my 1959 Gibson Melody Maker. And people are fucking mean. But you know what? I always told you, when my father came, people from Sicily came as well. Okay? And that motherfucker was floating, sliced with his own fucking knife. Less than a week later. The other main motherfucker, they parked him in his truck on a railroad track, waited for the train to come. And the third one, he repented, begged my fucking forgiveness because he knew where it was coming from. Or he knew why it was coming. He didn't know where it was coming from, but he knew why it was coming. I was friends back then with the youngest judo black belt in the world, held the Guinness Book of World Record. A hell of a blues man. Lives in Mississippi. Yeah. So you know what? It is what it is. Choose the right way. Okay, people, or I'll kick your ass. And I'll do it too.
I'll join with
I
him.
love you. I love you. Choose goodness. Okay? Choose the right path. I love you all. Tyler, have a good night. I'm going to go get something to eat.
All right, man. You have a good night, too.
Peace and love.
Peace and love.
Well, I called her up and told her I had this song I wanted her to sing, and I said, Ira, some of the lyrics maybe might be a little questionable, you know. So I sent the tape and the lyrics to her, and I didn't hear back for about a week. Finally, I called her and I said, well, what do you think? You know, I said, when I was writing it, I said, you were the one I had in mind singing the girl part. She said, yeah, you probably couldn't get nobody else. Sam Stone came home to his wife and family after serving in the conflict overseas. And the time that he served has shattered all his nerves and left a little shrapnel in his knee. But the morphine eased the pain, and the grass grew around his brain and gave him all the confidence he lacked. With a purple heart and a monkey on his back. There's a hole in Daddy's arm where all the money goes. And Jesus Christ died for nothing, I suppose. Little pitchers have big ears, don't stop to count the years. Sweet songs never last too long on broken radios. Sam Stone's welcome home didn't last too long. He went to work when he'd spent his last dime. And Sammy took to stealing, and when he got that empty feeling for a $100 habit without overtime. And the gold rolled through his veins like 1,000 railroad trains, and eased his mind in the hours that he chose, while the kids ran around wearing other people's clothes. There's a hole in Daddy's arm where all the money goes, and Jesus Christ died for nothing, I suppose. Little pitchers have big ears, don't stop to count the years. Sweet songs never last too long on broken radios. Sam Stone was alone when he popped his last balloon, climbing walls while sitting in a chair. Well, he played his last request while the room smelled just like death, with an overdose hovering in the air. But life had lost its fun, and there was nothing to be done but trade his house that he bought on the GI Bill for a flag draped casket on a local hero's hill. There's a hole in Daddy's arm where all the money goes, and Jesus Christ died for nothing, I suppose. Little pitchers have big ears, don't stop to count the years. Sweet songs never last too long on broken radios. Thank you.